Hi everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss the subject SCM, Strategic Cost Management second, for fourth sem student MCOM PNU. So in our earlier video we have already started the methods of pricing. So in that we discussed first type cost based and second type marginal cost pricing. So we are going to continue the methods of pricing. See, next one is going rate pricing. So the word itself is telling going rate pricing. Look at this picture. He is the leader of the market and the other sellers are following it. Follow the leader. So going rate means whatever the rate which is going on in the market. So selling your goods or services on that specific rate is called as going rate pricing. So going rate pricing is when a business sets the price of their product or services based on the market price. So in a market there will be one businessman who is the leader of the market. So whatever the prices he is selling for his goods, the same price will be followed by the other sellers in the market. So going on rate or going rate is just the market rate which is going on in the market, and the others are following the leader of the market. So this is usually for the commodities, like for the products like commodities, metals and services which has little variation in design and function. So all the commodities, all the metals and all the services which has little variation in the designs and the functions are sold out on the basis of going rate pricing. So going rate pricing has advantages also and disadvantages also. So let's see the one of the advantage of this is that we are following the leader of the market, and if we are following the leader of the market and we are selling the same products at the same price, means there will be no risk for our business. And the disadvantage of this type of pricing is it ignores the cost. See, different firms have different cost for manufacturing. So leader of the market, as he is a leader, he might have got the raw materials at lesser price and other services also at a reasonable prices, because he's been in the market for so many years, we can say, and he is a well performer. He may get those things at a lesser cost, but the other persons who are following him, the other businessman, they might be the new businesses or the underdeveloped businesses. They might get the raw materials at a higher rate when compared to this leader. So this type of pricing, when we are following the price of the leader, he might have been earning more profit than us, right? So his cost will be less and our cost might be more, so it ignores the cost involved in producing the goods. So this is called as going rate pricing. Next type of pricing is standard cost pricing. So standard cost pricing here means the price of the materials before purchasing it and actually purchasing it. Before purchasing the materials, one standard price is fixed. For example, raw materials per unit can be 50 rupees. It is just a predetermined rate. Right, they have determined by themselves, they have fixed a standard that 50 rupees per unit can be the rate of raw materials. That is called a standard cost. So standard cost is the predetermined cost. It is neither a market rate or nor a cost rate. So this is called as standard cost, and this is followed by those firms who are following the standard cost technique. So standard material price for the material is generally fixed. For raw materials, for purchasing the raw materials, the rate is generally fixed, and it is not a cost rate nor a market rate. Why? Means they have decided by themselves, they have fixed one standard that up to 50 rupees we can purchase per unit, we can take per unit 50 rupees. So that is called as standard cost. So the formula for that is TVC, that is total variable cost of production plus cost of bought in components. So variable cost will be added to the cost of bought in materials, that is components, that is cost of raw materials, is equals to standard variable cost. So advantages is it is simple to calculate, as we just need to predetermine the rate and we have to add the variable cost to the cost of bought in materials and services. Next, disadvantages, the role of competitor is ignored. So here, as you are deciding by yourself, you are predetermining the prices, the thing of competitor is ignored. Here we don't consider competitors in standard cost pricing, because the firm by themselves fixed one standard for purchasing the components. Historical accounting concept is used rather than replacement. So historical is a traditional model of costing, and replacement is the modern. So historical here in the sense the past, by taking the past records, the pricing is done. So here standard, how they are fixing standard means, for example, in the last year they might have got the same raw material at rupees 40, so they are expecting that if there is increase also up to 50 we can take. So that is on the past performance historical basis they are deciding the standard price. So next type of method of pricing is opportunity cost pricing. See here student, it is look at the image. So first of all we must know what is opportunity cost. So to understand this, I think this is the best example ever I could have, and every teacher could have given to a student. So see, whenever we are going to study, or we have made our mind that we need to study in this hour, from 11 to 12 I need to study, or in morning I need to study. We have fixed one schedule or one timetable for study timetable. But what happens when we are going to sit, or when we are studying, the thing comes in our mind that for some time leaving this studying, I should watch TV. So here there are two choices. One is you study for 1 hour, or you go to watch the TV. So here there are two choices. If the student skips this studying and he wants to sit in front of the TV, and we know that if we took mobile or if we sat in front of the TV, time passes without telling us. We don't know how the time is going. We said that we'll watch the TV for 10 minutes, but when we see the watch, it will be 2, 3 and 4 hours, and it can be more for the TV lovers. So here what you have lost your time, and you have lost your studying. That is called as opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the revenue forgone by not making the best alternative use. So here for the student, the opportunity cost, the loss he faced was that his time was wasted and he didn't study for the test also. So here same for the business, they might have having the choices A and B. So if he opted for B and he faced some of the losses, then the losses are that losses he has to face, and not opting the best alternative, that is the A, whatever the revenue lost, that is called as opportunity cost. So is the revenue forgone by not making the best alternative use. So opportunity cost of goods and services is measured in terms of revenue, as we have saw here. So revenue, what is the revenue lost, what is the revenue lost by not making the best alternative? So they have not choose the A. So here student also, he didn't choose studying and he went to watch TV. So what he lost studying and also time. So that is called as opportunity. So same here in the business, the revenue lost by not making the best choice, that is A, and the loss he faced in the B, that is called as opportunity cost. So it is measured in terms of revenue. So here one example is there for of the manufacturing firms. So assume that there are two firms. So if a firm receive an export order, sorry, not two firms, there are two machines, and in a firm, in a manufacturing firm there are two machines. If a firm receives an order, export order, when its capacity fully utilized, the opportunity cost of using the plant for export production would be nil. For example, there is a order, export order for the manufacturing firm. Okay, so export order is there, and the capacity of the machine is 100. So 100% you can use. There is one export order, and there is another order from within the country only. So there are two orders, order number A and order number B, and both of them are of the same revenue and it should be delivered at the same time. So now whatever the order received within the country utilized 100% of capacity, and the exported order utilized only 90%. For example, see here, so export utilize 90% and domestic within the country it utilizes 100%. So here they want 10,000 of the units of the goods, and here they want only 9,000 of the 9,000 of materials, that is products. So there are two options, option A, option B. Which one will you choose? So if the firm chooses option B, that is utilizing the 100% capacity, no idle capacity is there, there will be 0% of opportunity cost, because there is no loss faced by the company, every revenue can be earned. But if the firm is opting for the export order, which is 90%, 10% is idle, then the revenue can be lost, 10% of revenue can be lost by the firm, that is called as 10% opportunity cost can be lost. So revenue forgone by not making the best alternative use, it is called as opportunity cost. Next type is administered pricing. So administered pricing here in the sense the pricing which is fixed by the government. So for some time the government come into regulations and it fixes the prices by itself for the products like iron, steel, rubber, tiles, tubes, cement, sugar, drugs, etc. So these are the things for which the prices are fixed by the government. So government or the administration fixes the prices. So for what purpose they are fixing the prices, what are their objective means? First is uniform prices. So regulating the activity of national economy. So the government is thinking about the nation as a whole. So national economy. So all over the country, all over the economy, there should be uniform prices for the essential or the basic products like iron, steel, rubber, tires, tubes, cement, sugar, drugs, etc. So all these products you will be you will be getting on the same prices because it is fixed by the government. So uniform prices will be there all over the national economy. Next is monopolistic competition. So I mean monopolistic competition is single seller. So to protect the customers from the monopolization, that is single selling, deciding the prices by own. So one seller will decide prices, he will fix prices either at high prices, either he will lower the prices. So there will be different prices according to the seller. So monopolization, to avoid that manipulation, the single seller and deciding the prices by themselves, the government came into force and they regulated the prices for those essential goods. Next is raw materials at fair prices. So aiding the secondary and the tertiary producers to receive raw materials at the fair prices. So see here, the raw materials is supplied by the primary sector. So what is the primary sector here? In the sense, the primary sector is the agriculture. So from them we are receiving the raw materials to the secondary and the tertiary sector. So here to aid the secondary and the tertiary sector to receive the raw materials at the fair prices. Last objective is to protect the farmers or the producers to receive the profitable price for their products. So these are the objectives of the administrative pricing. So in today's video we discussed going rate pricing, we discussed standard rate pricing, we discussed opportunity cost pricing, and we also discussed the administrative pricing. So in the coming videos we'll be discussing some other types, the part third of the methods of pricing. So in that we will be discussing customary pricing, export pricing, and pricing for target rate of return, value added pricing, pricing for the new products. So after completing the theory part, I'll start the practical portion. So for the first we'll discuss all the 5 chapter theory, then at a time we'll discuss the practical portion. So thank you for watching. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comments below or in your WhatsApp group. Thank you.